At the age of 57, Robert Taylor exposes the vile reality of Barbara Stanwyck's marriage. Robert Taylor's birthplace was Philly, Nebraska, and he was born Spangler Arlington Brew on August 5, 1911. Taylor possessed the mix of charisma and grit that would come to characterize his film career as he grew up in a modest Midwestern town. Growing up in a strict household and with traditional Midwestern values instilled in him a level of self-control and modesty that was lacking in many of his contemporaries in the entertainment industry. Throughout his decades-long career, he preserved a reputation for professionalism, friendliness, and reliability, which would eventually show in his personal life as well as his professional work. Taylor's path to fame started when he relocated to Los Angeles and attended USC, where he studied engineering before realizing acting was his true calling. During these formative years, he initially gained notice for his charisma and outstanding good looks, which would later become his trademark. Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer, one of the most prominent studios of the period, signed Taylor because they saw his star potential and raw talent, allowing him early access to Hollywood. His early films demonstrated his incredible versatility as an actor by showcasing a variety of roles, from love leads to action heroes. Taylor was able to survive in the infamously unstable industry because he could smoothly switch between genres such as drama, romance, historical epics, and war films, in contrast to many of his colleagues who were stuck in one paradigm. Robert Taylor was already well known and beloved as a leading man in Hollywood by the 1940s. His portrayals in films like Waterloo Bridge, 1940, and Camille, 1936, in which he co-starred with the renowned Greta Garbo, solidified his reputation as an actor who could blend profound emotion with strong screen presence. His work was known for its realistic manner, which eschewed dramatization and enabled viewers to establish an intimate connection with his characters. Taylor's inimitable blend of sensitivity, moral fortitude, and subtle intensity set him apart from his contemporaries and added to his evergreen charisma. In addition, his willingness to take on challenging parts and collaborate with legendary Hollywood filmmakers and performers demonstrated his professional prominence. Taylor showed a remarkable ability to reinvent herself as the film industry progressed. His versatility was on full display as he went from playing youthful love leads in the 30s and 40s to more serious parts in historical epics and suspense thrillers in the 50s. Works like Ivanhoe, 1952, and Quo Vadis, 1951, demonstrated his mastery of dramatic hero roles, while films like The House of the Seven Hawks, 1959, demonstrated his aptitude with experimenting with other film techniques. Taylor effortlessly adapted to the rise of television as a dominant medium, seizing chances to expand his audience while maintaining the high quality he had built in film. Robert Taylor wed the famous actress Barbara Stanwyck in a small but beautiful ceremony in San Diego, California, on May 14, 1939, after a steady 3 years of courtship. Taylor and Stanwyck were both well-known, renowned performers who were loved for their talent, screen presence, and gorgeous personas. Hence, their marriage garnered a lot of attention from the public and the Hollywood press. With only a small circle of close friends and family present, the wedding exuded an air of intimate Hollywood glamour. Marion Marks, who was proudly serving as Stanwyck's matron of honor, was one of the most prominent. She is the wife of the legendary Marx Brothers comic Zeppo Marx. There was an air of Hollywood camaraderie about the whole thing because of her, drawing attention to the interconnected web of relationships that existed throughout the film business during that period. For Taylor's side, the best man was Buck Mack, a vaudevillian who had been Stanwyck's personal assistant, confidant, and close friend for many years. The fact that Mack was also a member of the Stanwyck family, having married Millie, Barbara's sister, made him a father figure to Barbara and highlighted the significance of loyalty and trust on this historic occasion. Their marriage was complicated and fraught with difficulties, despite the fact that they appeared to be one of Hollywood's golden couples. They were married for about 12 years, and in that time, they both worked hard to maintain a healthy work-life balance. They frequently felt the pressure on their relationship caused by living under the continual surveillance of Hollywood gossip columnists. Anthony, Tony, and Dion were still living with them, adopted son of actress Frank Faye and Stanwyck from her previous marriage. Throughout their marriage, Tony was an integral part of their lives. Taylor wholeheartedly embraced his role as stepfather, offering wisdom and solace in a home consumed by hectic film schedules and societal expectations. Nevertheless, Stanwyck filed for a divorce in February 1951 after the couple's relationship had deteriorated over the years due to tension and separation, putting an end to a highly publicized marriage in the Hollywood industry during that time. In keeping with her strong maternal connection with her adopted son Tony, Stanwyck maintained custody of him following the divorce. Taylor found love again shortly after his divorce. He crossed paths with the stunningly gorgeous German actress Ursula Thies in 1952. Thies had risen to fame in Hollywood and had emigrated to the United States. Thies was widely regarded as one of the most stunning foreign ladies to ever step foot in Hollywood, thanks to her innate kindness and graceful demeanor. There was an instant bond between Taylor and Thies, brought about by their shared experience of the stresses of fame and the magnetic pull of the limelight. The couple wed on May 23, 1954, after dating for 2 years. The ceremony took place in the scenic Jackson Hole, Wyoming, which was a perfect fit for Taylor's love of nature and the couple's desire to escape the spotlight of Hollywood. Many looked on their marriage as a joyful one, full of love, security, and the happiness of starting a family together. Terrence was born in 1955 to Taylor and Thies, and Tessa was born in 1956 to Thies and Taylor. Having been born in 1959, he relished the role of father and frequently spoke about the joy his children offered him. He also treasured the peaceful times away from the set of films, when he could fully immerse himself in being a loving husband and father. Taylor became a stepfather to Michael Thies and Manuela, who were children of Ursula's first marriage, in addition to their own children. Everyone agreed that Taylor took this responsibility very seriously, in an effort to give them a sense of security and direction while they adapted to life in the U.S. The mixed family, despite its challenges, brought Taylor's unwavering devotion to his loved ones into the home. But bereavement befell the family in the most tragic way. In a motel room in West Los Angeles, Ursula found her son Michael Thies's lifeless body on May 26, 1969. This was just weeks before Taylor lost his fight with lung illness. Overcoming his personal issues, Michael tragically succumbed to a heroin overdose, ending a life marked by instability and conflict. Michael had only just been discharged from a mental institution where he had spent time trying to heal from his troubles, adding to the compounding pain. Michael's problems have persisted for quite some time. After a frightening event in which he tried to poison his father with insecticide, he was committed to a reformatory as early as 1964. Taylor, who had sought to be a stabilizing influence in his stepson's life, and his mother were both saddened by the impression that the young man was mired in a cycle of suffering and instability. The final chapter of Robert Taylor's life was already tragic, but the tragedy of Michael's death occurring so close to Taylor's own added another dimension of misery. Robert Taylor stunned many of his fans when, at the age of 57, he decided to talk openly about his troubled marriage to Barbara Stanwyck. By that point in his Hollywood career, he was silver-haired but still incredibly attractive. They were one of the sexiest couples in Hollywood for a long time. Their images appeared in film magazines and newspapers, making them seem like they were in a romantic comedy. However, Taylor could not find any sentimentality in his reminiscences. On the contrary, he depicted an imperfect union, describing it as emotionally stifling and profoundly disturbing at times. "People thought Barbara and I had the dream marriage," Taylor said, his voice low and nearly exhausted. The reality, though, was that it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows. Taylor, who was cast by MGM as the perfect tall, dark, and gorgeous leading man, had spent a long time under the scrutiny of the press, yet something about him was far from attractive. This criticism had already been growing when he wed Stanwyck in 1939. While he was still navigating the studio system, she had already achieved superstardom and was an incredibly strong and independent woman. In hindsight, Taylor did acknowledge that this disparity was a defining feature of their relationship. He said it like it was when we were married. Barbara was the star. Her profession was run with an iron hand, and she was powerful, respected, and knowledgeable. While MGM was still shaping me, they were doing the opposite. Our marriage was affected by that disparity in ways that were invisible to others outside of our inner circle. He continued by saying that they had a very discordant home life together. Taylor implied that their private lives frequently strayed into disgusting area, while the public witnessed exquisite Hollywood parties, flawlessly arranged photos, and flattering interviews. He said that when we were alone, we weren't the Hollywood power couple Robert Taylor and Barbara Stanwyck. There was a time when the two of us couldn't stand one another. The little things could spark a conflict. Her remarks are sharper than any knife and might break you to pieces. I would withdraw, pout, and occasionally vanish in order to save my sanity. That's just staying alive, not love. Taylor said several stunning things, the most shocking of which was that the marriage was more like a studio arrangement than a real love tale at times. By casting him opposite Stanwyck, MGM was able to elevate Taylor into the mainstream and protect the reputation of its leading man. A hard-working, disciplined woman who was the object of admiration. Taylor conceded that it wasn't entirely up to her. My pairing with Barbara was well received by the studio. It was reasonable for maintaining appearances and getting exposure. There was attraction, I won't deny that. However, romantic love? Love is more than that. It's liberating. That marriage stifled my freedom. According to Taylor, Stanwyck's aggressive nature could be too much for him to handle. She had more experience under her belt, knew her way around the business better, and was famously forthright in her dealings with people and situations. Rather than her husband, Taylor reflected on times when he felt more like an apprentice or even an employee. He said it bluntly, Barbara wanted control. I was supposed to go along with her in her job, at home, and in our marriage. I maintained a professional appearance for some time. And yet, on the inside, I was sad. It's repulsive when a marriage prioritizes power dynamics over love. Taylor did not totally disregard Stanwyck's role in his life, despite his harsh remarks. She was devoted, hardworking, and refused to lower her standards, all of which he recognized. Still, there was none of the affection a spouse should have displayed when remembering a great love. On the contrary, he seemed to ponder with remorse and resentment, as if the years he had spent in that union had taken joy out of his life. He made it clear that he doesn't detest her. Barbara herself was never something I despised, but our shared lifestyle was. Living in such a lovely home made you feel chilly on the inside. It was never quite right, regardless of how plush the furnishings or majestic the setting. The 57-year-old Robert Taylor shocked fans and destroyed one of Hollywood's best-kept secrets when he revealed secrets about Barbara Stanwyck. His remarks exposed the unvarnished reality of a marriage that had been portrayed as idyllic for many years. The only thing that remained was a picture of two stars who were connected together by obligation and appearance rather than emotion, along with the tacit expectation that one must maintain the Hollywood ideal. According to Taylor, who seemed to be talking to himself, many people fantasize of being movie stars. However, they are unaware of the price. I lost the serenity of mind that my marriage to Barbara had bestowed upon me.